Hello, ThriveCart users. Elliot here with another great way to enhance your online course. All right, so now I originally made this practice test for my students, and it shows the question and response, and it even has a submit with the answer. It's green if it's correct, it's red if it's incorrect. However, I needed a practice test that only showed one question at a time, and I put it inside the other cool little ThriveCart add-ons that I'm using for my students so that you can do the exact same thing. Have a look at this practice test here. And the great part with this practice test is that there's a start button and there's a timer that's green when there's a lot of time. It turns orange when there's half the time, and it turns red starting at the 10-second mark. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Now, of course, you can change that, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. It's super simple and really easy. But first, let me just show you what it looks like, feels like. In my opinion, this is like a more modern day view. It looks a little bit better. And again, it's great if all you want to show is one question at a time. There's only 3 questions. Let's just complete this. It turns green, and then, so what's cool is that it has a total count score, but then it also shows the question, and again, green if it's correct and red if it's incorrect, just visually stimulating and showing that visual for the student to give them even better feedback. Now, in case you're like, wow, I would love to have this in my online course too, then once you purchase this, you'll have instant access to this and all of the other coded games. And all you're going to have to do is just click this. It goes to a Google Doc. And then just as the directions say, you're just going to want to pinpoint the parts that are highlighted in yellow and then change that for you. So for example, if we just go back here, remember that this says practice test title. You don't want it to say practice test title. You want it to say phonics exam or whatever your test or quiz is about. So then you scroll down a little bit more, and there's one more time where you'll want to change the title. And again, it's just highlighted super easily in yellow. So right here, again, for my students, a lot of times I've got math tests and phonics and phonological awareness, phonemic awareness, like all that stuff. So whatever your title is, just change it to that, okay? And then down below is where the actual questions are. So this is the question that shows up. And so your question might be something like, who was the quarterback for the Packers in 1967 or something like that. And so you're just going to want to replace my question with your question. And then here we have the answer responses A, B, C, or D. And again, just take out what I have and put in your own. Now, one thing to note and really important here so that your test, the computer scores it accurately, is 0 represents A. So that means number 1 represents B, number 2 represents C, and number 3 represents D. So here, this says correct 0. So that means letter A was the correct option. So just change that for whatever yours is. If your correct response is A, then keep it at 0. If it's B, then you'll exchange or update this 0 to a 1. And again, C is 2 and D is 3. And then here, this is really nice for the students. You can provide them with an explanation, so giving them feedback about why they answered the question correctly or incorrectly. And then this right here is the second question, and this is the third question, and you'll do the exact same thing. Now, there's only a couple of other things to update this based off of your own particular test, and this right here, my original practice test had 45 questions, so if yours has 10, for example, you'll just take out this 45 and you'll put in a 10. If yours has 5 questions, put in a 5. Now, this is only highlighted in purple because the 45 I felt can be a little bit difficult to find. And so you don't have to change this display total score, only the things that are highlighted in yellow. So I just highlighted this in pink just so that we could find the 45 a little bit easier. All right, now if we just scroll down below, this is where we have our timed section. So let me just go right here. And if we can go to Google, I knew that I wanted 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is 600 seconds. So the timing is not done in minutes. It's actually done in seconds. So if you say, hey, Elliot, I don't need a 10-minute quiz. I need a 14-minute quiz. Then you would just take that second, which is 840 seconds in 14 minutes, for example, and you would just take out the 600 and then copy and paste the amount of seconds that you need. Now let's have a look. As I mentioned before, at the halfway point, the code automatically turns orange. So one more time, this ring will turn orange for the student, which is a nice little indicator for them. And so if your practice test is 14 minutes and you think, oh, I also like the idea of having it change at the halfway point, then what you would just do is you would take 7 for half of 14 and put this 420 right inside the warning threshold. And then again, like I said, I think it's really cool when the test turns red and it's kind of like 10, 9, 8, 7, and that is 10 seconds right here. So if you're thinking like, I don't want it to be 10 seconds, I want it to be 30 seconds, for example, then you would just put it 30 instead of 10. And if we go down further, that is all. So if you are thinking like, yes, I totally want this practice test for my students, then all you would do after you make the updates for your particular practice test is you would just copy this part right here, and then you would log into your Learn Plus, your ThriveCart online course, and then just navigate to the edit part and just drag the HTML right here. And as you can see, this is the same code that is right here. So I just dragged and dropped it, copy and pasted it, simple as that, and you're done in just a minute. Also, I want to share with you the way that I oftentimes write the actual questions is, because doing 3 of these is no problem when it's already written for you. Also, go to, for example, ChatGPT and say, hi, learn from the code and make questions about football stars using the same code. And then just give that to them, and then actually ChatGPT will write it in the exact code. So you don't have to like mess with the quotations and all of the actual code stuff, which again, thank goodness we have all of this great AI stuff now, and you can just copy and paste, and it's easy as peasy, simple as that. So hey, I hope that you found this really helpful, and if you have any questions at all, just go click the link in the description of this video. My email address is there if you want to give me a shout out, say, I've got a question, or what do you think about this, or anything at all. And like I said, my students have given me really good feedback on my practice test, and so I just hope that this helps enhance your online course too, and maybe even make some more sales. That would be awesome. All right, have a great day, everyone. Elliot signing out.